because they just canceled another game. And I noticed
PlayStation's dead. PlayStation's dead. PlayStation's dead. And you fanboys can't deny it.
that a lot of Sony fans, a lot of people that study the industry are kind of beginning to panic.
Oh, really? It took you guys 12 canceled games for you guys to realize that there's something wrong going on here with Sony. They ended up like the Dreamcast, man. Dreamcast is like, I can't experience this again. Not one more time. Please, Sony. Please.
What also came out yesterday is the first leaks about the PlayStation 6.
You see why these PS fanboys wanted to end the generation so quick? They're like, oh, why Microsoft's still going on? It's already over. We won. You see? They're already thinking about making a PlayStation 6 because of how embarrassing the PlayStation 5 is. And what's even more funny, the majority of those games are going to be probably cross-gen with the PS6. So you might as well, honestly, with a lot of these games, you might as well wait for the PlayStation 6 version. PS5, I'm telling you, bro, I'm sorry to say it, but as of right now, the PS5 is by far one of the worst PlayStation consoles that Sony has ever created. You guys cannot take this back, bro. I'm sorry, man. I've had more fun playing on the Vita. I don't care if it was a failure, but the Vita had even more games to look forward to than what you got going on here with the PlayStation 5, man. And what's crazy, that a lot of these games are going to drop first on PS5, and then they're going to get enhanced versions on the PS6. No different than they're doing with a lot of these other cross-gen. Bro, I'm tired of Sony, man. I mean, if this is not enough to get you guys tired of PlayStation, well, then I don't know what to tell you.
So people are kind of going, all right, what is the rest of the PlayStation 5 generation actually going to look like? And what is launch of PS6 going to look like if Sony isn't making games that they typically would make?
Told you guys, because like I've said before, the budget. Games are becoming too expensive, which therefore translates to more people needing to buy the game. This is why you're hearing about companies raising. I mean, obviously it's a lot to do with greed, but you can't say these companies are greedy if they're not getting enough money. Oh yeah, you know, they raising the price of these games because they're greedy. Well, how greedy are they if they can't even make the money back in return?
In this case, not making any games that are ever going to launch, but let's talk. I hope you're having a great day.
PlayStation 5 got no games.
And if you could, please, give this...
We try to tell you ponies, man. That's why everybody's switching to the Xbox. Xbox. Everyone want an Xbox. Y'all were laughing at me about that song. Now y'all gonna be singing it. Xbox. Xbox. Everyone want an Xbox. Xbox, Xbox, everyone want an Xbox.
And subscribe.
So they got knocked out. Ding, ding. The fight's over.
We're going to launch.
Oh, man.
Let's talk. I hope you're having a great day. And if you could, please, give this video a like and subscribe.
Oh, man. Sony just got knocked out for the count, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's over. 10 of Sony's live server subscription games are canceled. Wave the flag, the white towel going throwing in. Sony 10 canceled. They can't even make the 10 count.
Because honestly, Horizon is a world
that you got that girl. I was like, oh no. She don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry that you guys want to play with me. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to tell you guys that this game has been canceled.
In my opinion, a lot of lore, a lot of legs. It's got a lot of interesting ideas still.
Y'all coping.
I'm a big Horizon simp.
Oh, yeah, Horizon simp. You hear that? No, just say PlayStation fanboy, bro. I'm surprised you ain't pull out the Switch version.
Incredibly bad Lego Horizon game, but I've always thought this is a universe with a lot of potential to be explored.
Now, yeah, maybe it had a little too much potential because y'all got to get Herman Hurst out of there, man. That man's out here single-handedly destroying y'all company.
This is technically one of 2 separate live service games that are currently in development about Horizon, which is very strange to double down. Like, look, man, I'm the biggest Horizon simp on the planet, and even I don't think you needed 2 live service games. In fact, though,
Well,
here's the thing. So
it's so funny, right? How they say that, oh, we can exist with single player games. And I've told you guys that Sony needs a way to make that concurrent money. And you guys that keep talking about, I don't know why Sony keeps focusing on it, because they are focusing on getting that money. That's what you people don't understand. If whatever I wasn't saying was true, then why do you think Sony's trying so hard to do it? I mean, they're going as far to essentially cannibalize their own games to the point where they got to put multiplayer and everything because they need that money back in return. So clearly that shows you that there's not enough PlayStation fans buying these games, like you guys claimed.
See leaks about the other game. There was actually leaked gameplay. This MMORPG, think of it as like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy.
And you
14.
really think people are going to stop playing World of Warcraft to play a game that nobody's even going to care to play within 2 months of its release date?
With robotic dinosaurs. The other thing that is currently in development is essentially Monster Hunter. It's a multiplayer online game where you're trying to hunt
there's
monsters.
too many games like that already, man. You got Wild Hearts, you got Monster Hunter. That's probably why they canceled it. They're like, Jimmy, they beat us to the punch. They got Monster Hunter Wilds coming out in February. You know what? We might as well cancel our game. I mean, it's true. Like, is that game going to be more successful or Monster Hunter Wilds? It's a pretty easy answer. It's a pretty easy answer. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, it's officially over, bro. Sony can't even come up with their own games, man. Like I've said, the PS5 ain't nothing but an egg box.
Monsters and upgrade stuff, but it's in the Horizon universe. So that's still in development, at least as of the recording of this video. But what I've noticed is a lot of people are going, okay, but this is one that at least kind of made sense. Like, you know, stuff like Concord definitely did not have an audience. Trying to copy Overwatch years after Overwatch is dead was obviously very
Well, it's not that. It's just the fact they were working on the game, and why would they cancel it? You know what I mean? People can say, well, the game got dated in comparison, but if they were working on this game when Overwatch was out, and that game was popular during those times when they were probably developing it, they probably still thought that that game would continue to be as popular as it was when it first launched. But clearly things have changed, and if people want Overwatch, they just play that game, and they don't really care to, like, or should I say, no pun intended, expand their horizon.
It's a very, very bad failure. So that was strange, but at least this project, to me, conceptually made sense.
How so? Because you really think this game's going to be better than a Final Fantasy 14 or World of Warcraft, man? You'll be lying to, even if it was better than those games, people ain't playing them. That just goes to show you that Sony cannot last in this gaming community, man. Like, when you guys keep talking about, oh, well, we got the most hardware, but what about the games? Y'all talk about identity, but what identity are we seeing? They asking Square and, you know, Kojima Productions to bring games to y'all because Sony's afraid to fund their own games now at this point. It's actually quite sad if you think about it.
But I did notice a lot of people are kind of going, okay, where does Sony go from here? Now, this is Zuby Tech. I actually love this account, but this dude definitely loves everything that Sony does. He tweets out about, you know, their hardware, their TVs, their phones, and a lot of stuff about not only how good PlayStation is doing, but specifically how good PS5 games are. And that's why I like it. I like gaming on my PlayStation 5 a lot. So,
well, you ain't gonna be gaming on it for long because the PlayStation is dead.
It's like, look, man,
I'm a competitive gamer. With Xfinity, can I get fast internet with less lag?
Second cutscene. I want to know, PlayStation, what are you actually doing?
Now PlayStation fans want to actually talk about PlayStation. You see, maybe if you guys weren't so fixated on Xbox, you guys would actually know what's coming out for your platform. But this is what I'm saying. You guys have done this to yourself. All you guys did was make Xbox a better platform to play by critiquing everything that they did. And I want to thank the PlayStation community in doing so. Because look what happened. We're benefiting while you guys complaining and looking for some Xbox game scraps.
To the PlayStation 5 generation, and not just, hey, here's the season pass thing. Now, This is everything that is currently leaked. We had the Insomniac hack about a year and a half ago, and inside of it was a bunch of financial details about what PlayStation is up to. And we know for a fact it's real because that wasn't public. That was just straight up PlayStation talks to no Game Pass signups to the fact that Avowed is coming out here in 3 weeks, and I still have not seen a single trailer for it, like pretty much after the reveals in the previews. I'm in a spot now where I feel like Sony is sitting there silently trying to plan for a future, and nobody's excited for that future anymore.
Yeah.
Because
And how do you guys think Sony's going to exist when people don't even care about their games? This is why we was telling y'all. So you guys can sit there and cope as much as you want by saying, we got Airbox games, but you're only further proving our point. That PlayStation never had games and Xbox has always had games.
we don't know what it's
Enjoy
actually
your Halo Master Chief Collection and your 12 canceled games.
going to look like. Hopefully, Sony moves on from live service games and does what they do best. At a certain point, you have to wonder when the cost of making and canceling, taking live service games does not outweigh the cost of making normal, good single player games, however the revenue limits. This is such an interesting take, which is that the idea between live service is that, okay, if you can get even one live service game to be moderately successful, if it can have a couple 100,000 concurrent players, like Pal World or something like that, it could pay the bills of other development. Okay,
Yeah,
if we get
this is what we've been trying to tell you.
one game that's even 10% as popular as Call of Duty, it will fund a lot of other projects we can bring
Now you guys are starting to understand how Game Pass Ultimate works. Thank you.
back. Patapon, we can bring back Parappa the Rapper.
I mean, look at it. Look at all the Fables coming back, Perfect Dark, right? And why do you think that is? Ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl. Game Pass Ultimate.
We can fund the experimental stuff like Gravity Rush by having this big game kind of be the money printer. But the problem
is Gravity Rush was never a money printer. The game flopped.
Now Sony has completely bet on live service, so they don't even have any background projects.
Seems like Sony is the one that needs to go multi-plat. I mean, like I've said, they're all doing it, guys. Like, you guys holding on to this concept that only Xbox is going. They're all doing it, bro. I'm telling you, man, the more and more that this keeps happening, you will eventually see these games drop on an Xbox, bro. I'm telling you, I've already heard, bro. They're planning. They're planning for that Switch, too. Sony ain't playing around no more, man. They're going to start putting some big titles on that Switch, too. I'm telling you.
Of any tried and true classic Sony stuff for people to remember and to enjoy. And it just seems like such a weird, pointless gamble, in my opinion. I feel like a lot of people are kind of looking back on the fact that the classic PlayStation
Killzone flopped, Resistance flopped, Motorstorm flopped, the mark of that game flopped, Infamous flopped, Ape Escape flopped, The Getaway, which was these are all great games, mind you, flopped, The Legend of Dragoon flopped. These are all great games. I'm not sitting there disagreeing with you, but nobody cared about these games, bro. I'm sorry to say it. I mean, it was obviously, I think the most popular game here on this list was probably Infamous. I think Infamous 1 and 2 did have some success, and then Second Son was actually quite successful. So really, that game is the only successful game on this list that you just showed.
One PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 stuff that a lot of us kind of grew up and loved the most. It is weird to think that this vibe is probably never coming back. Legend of Dragoon, Motorstorm, there is some rumors that maybe Motorstorm will come back, but I do feel like people that grew up with PlayStation are starting to go, okay, current Sony is fine. Current Sony
No. Don't stop saying that. Current Sony is worse than what they were before.
Good stuff. There's still definitely a ton of stuff to play.
No, there's not, bro. You showed more games on this little list here than what Sony had coming out for the PS5 for the past 5 years.
On my PlayStation 5,
I mean, you want to be technical. Let's be technical. Let's be technical. Killzone came out in 2005. Killzone 2 was like 2009. Killzone 3 was 2011. Resistance, 2006. 2008, 2011, or 12, if I believe. Motorstorm, 2006, I believe 6 or 7. And like I said, all right, I'm going to just go out like this. Killzone 1, 2, and 3. Resistance 1, 2, and 3. Motorstorm, Pacific Rift, and then Apocalypse. That's 3 games. Mark of Cry. I think they did another one too. Infamous 1 and 2, PS3. Ape Escape. Actually, they did quite a few Ape Escape games, even though it failed. Getaway was a great game, but nobody played it. And Legend of Dragoon was a great PS1 game made by some of the same Final Fantasy developers, but yet it still didn't do as well as Final Fantasy.
Put like 100 hours now into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, so it's not like there's a lack of games to play.
No, there's definitely a lack of games, bro. Come on, man. Stop capping.
The first party has gone from the bedrock to a background option of the system itself.
It's always been a background. These games that you're showing were always background options. Nobody said, I'm buying a PS2 for Killzone. I'm buying a PS... Nobody, bro. It was a very small minority of fanboys, bro. I know because I played during that time. I did. And nobody cared for these games. That's why these games no longer exist. Because if people played them back then, they would still be here.
When I look at all these leaks, it talks about the PlayStation 6.
Already PlayStation 6, holiday 2027. Look at this, bro. Bro, they're going to drop Intergalactic by the time that... You might as well wait, bruh. You might as well wait. It's over, bro. PS5 is the worst console this generation. PS5 owners probably going to start trading their console in after this. Are you serious? PS6? This generation barely even got started. We barely even got the games. We had 5 years of waiting for nothing, and they already trying to pull the plug on y'all already. Look at that. All they doing is gauging money off y'all, taking all those third-party membership fees off them Call of Duty players. That's all they doing, hustling y'all. Anybody that still has faith and confidence in Sony after this, bro, I don't know what to tell you, man. Intergalactic and those games, Marvel Wolverine, are probably gonna get re-released, and they're probably gonna look way better on the PS6. You might as well wait for the PS6 version.
Talks that maybe it'll come in holiday of 2027. There's all sorts of leaks about its chip, its production schedule and stuff. I feel like I can't get excited for the PlayStation 6 in this current ecosystem because it still feels like the PlayStation 5 has never really gotten going.
Wow. You see, now you want to admit it? Let's go.
And it's not just that they're still putting games on PS4. It just comes down to the fact that, for me, it just seems like Sony has spent this entire generation
fooling y'all,
trying to grow up. And they're having some growing pains. They're trying to adapt.
Oh, bro, just say they dead, bro. Because if this was Xbox canceling 12 games in a row, y'all be sitting there saying they dead.
To figure out what the current market looks like. And in this effort to be as cutting edge as they have been in the past, I feel like they've lost something. But
the PlayStation 6 is going to be no different. Because all it's going to do is bring the same games that they had in development for the PS5, while probably still dropping the PS5 version, which more likely going to be capped at 30, right? We'll see what happens with that. And then make a PS5, a 6 version. Bro, it's done, bro. I'm sorry, bro. PlayStation 5 is officially trash, bro. I don't care. 70 million. Nobody cares no more, bro. Nobody cares, bro. Because when it comes down to the games, you can clearly see that Sony don't know what they're doing. Even PlayStation fans are losing confidence in this brand. And I get it. It took a while for Xbox to get things going. But it's at least nice to know that we have games that we could actually play in this year of 2025 through Game Pass Ultimate too, mind you. But hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. All these PlayStation fanboys is capping. They never seen this coming, and that's why they wanted to end the generation. That's why they kept saying Xbox just ended already. No, Xbox is just getting things going. Sony needs to end it and drop out that PlayStation 6 because as of right now, PlayStation 5 is dead.